So, what are the hidden costs in buying a house? What are the costs that you might overlook? Firstly, your solicitor's fee. Your solicitor is going to have a professional legal fee, so that's clearly one of the biggest costs you're going to incur, and that will range from, depends on the price of the house, but it can range, I suppose, from $1,250 plus VAT upwards to $2,500, $3,000 plus VAT, but it will depend on the value of the house. A typical average sort of a fee is probably in the region though of $1,500 plus VAT at 23% to $1,750, $1,950 plus VAT. So that's one of the first costs that you're going to incur when buying a house. Another hidden cost will be the bank valuation. If you're borrowing money from the bank, there's going to be a valuation required as part of that process, and you will need to get a valuation carried out from a valuer who will be on an approved list from the bank. But the bad news is you'll have to pay for the valuation in nearly all circumstances. I'm not sure of any banks who will pay for their own valuation, quite frankly. So I think you're also going to have outlays or fees, costs, which you might describe as miscellaneous. That will include the likes of commissioners for oaths fees. In other words, there's certain statutory declarations that may have to be sworn, especially the family home declaration, which will have to be placed with the title documents. So you're going to need to go to a solicitor, a different solicitor, and have that family home declaration witnessed by him or her, and that's going to give rise to a small fee or a small outlay. You may have one or two other declarations as well, not so much on the purchasing side, but certainly if you're selling, you will have other declarations, such as a Section 72 declaration, and perhaps a declaration to do with planning and not having been served with any notices of a planning nature, and so on. Another outlay you will incur will be the legal searches, which will be required on closing day. So on closing of the transaction, on completion day, when you get a house, your solicitor will have to carry out legal searches against the vendor and against the property itself, and indeed against you if you're borrowing money from the bank. Those searches, legal searches, are carried out by professional law searches or searchers, and will probably range from €100 to €150, that type of range. One of the bigger outlays or costs that you will incur will be stamp duty. So stamp duty on a residential property, second-hand residential property, is 1%. So if you take, for the sake of this video, a house that's costing you €300,000, then your stamp duty will be 1% of that, which is €3,000. You will also incur fees and outlays in relation to the Property Registration Authority. Once you have purchased a property, the change of ownership will have to be registered with the Land Registry or the Registry of Deeds. That will incur a cost. It will range anything from €500 to maybe €900 for the transfer. In other words, it will depend on the value of the property. You could probably allow anything between €700 and €900. You're also going to have to register with the Land Registry the charge on the property, and the charge will be the security for the bank who are lending you the money to buy. So that's going to be an additional cost of €175 to register the mortgage or charge on the folio of your new property. You will also have miscellaneous outlays or fees in the nature of €40 or €50 probably, perhaps for postage, registered post, perhaps a certified copy folio from the Land Registry after the transaction has been completed, in order to show the lender and place with the title documents the folio showing you as the new registered owner, and showing the lender that their charge has been registered and registered on the folio. I think that's it. I think that's all of the hidden costs that you owe. One other one is the structural survey. I have recommended strongly consistently for a long period of time, and I do that from my own personal experience, the procuring of a structural survey. If it's a second-hand property, you buy it very much in the condition that it's in. Therefore, I would strongly recommend a structural survey be carried out by an architect or an engineer or a surveyor. That's going to be an extra cost, but it's money well spent in my view. That could range anything, I suppose, from 350 to 550, 600 perhaps. I'd say probably a good ballpark figure is around about 400 to 500 euros, but you'll find out easily enough by ringing around looking for a quotation. But that is a cost that I think you should incur whether you buy the property or not. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.